Well, hello, dear friends from Bangkok, Thailand. So, this trip here to Thailand, I've been to Thailand several times and been to Bangkok several times. But what I wanted to do with this video was just go on a couple areas, trips, sites that are not necessarily your normal kind of tourist destinations. So, a little bit more off the beaten path. So, I'm going to take you to a really cool giant three-headed elephant museum. There's a canal tour on basically commuter boats that you can see behind me that I'm going to go on. There's a really interesting restaurant that is condom themed that will be part of the excursion. What I really wanted to do is give you a sense of Bangkok that's slightly off the sort of beaten path here. So we're also going to shop for amulets that bring good lucks to people at that market. So stay tuned. This video will include most of those things, hopefully. And hopefully you'll find it interesting, at least if you've been to Bangkok before or are looking for things that are a little less tourist-oriented. Well, arriving at Erawan Museum is really pretty simple. Bangkok has a great BTS system here. So you hop on the train, you take the Sukhumvit line to Phu Chau and hop off the train. And from there, it's about a 10-minute walk from the train station. And riding the BTS in Bangkok is a pretty simple experience. And most of the directions are in English as well as Thai. So if you don't speak Thai or you're not a native Thai speaker, you shouldn't have any issues buying a ticket and navigating the system. It's pretty simple. I'm here at the Erawan Museum. Now this site was built by a collector and a man who really appreciated some of the antiquities of Thai culture. So you can see this massive elephant behind me. This was built to house his collection of rare antiques, and you can see that the elephant is just massive. So this museum, the large portion of it is in the base, but then also portions of it are actually in the belly of the elephant as well. So you can really explore almost all of the elephant as you kind of walk through the base, up the stairs, which of course are kind of famous in terms of their TikTok views. Lots of people there getting their photos and taking their video on the stairs. You can also make your way up these spiral staircases on either side, which brings you into the belly of the elephant. And you can observe a lot of sort of Buddhist motifs up there. The Buddha, a couple of statues, places to pray, show you respect. It's an interesting combination of both Hindu and Buddhist architecture. The elephant was built with the architectural intent to protect the items inside. So there's lots of Chinese vases or vases, I'm not sure what you call it, from different, like the Ming dynasty and a couple other things, other dynasties that are stored here. And the elephant and the motif of the elephant were meant to protect the contents inside, act as a protector to all those things. See, even the handrail attachments on the side of this staircase have this elephant motif, that attach the handrail to the actual staircase. It's just an incredible sort of attention to detail when you look at some of these things, and just the richness of the details that you see on the staircase and pretty much anywhere you look in this area. So you can make out, you know, they have three separate elephant heads. It's a three elephant head statue, you know, so you can see all three heads from this angle. Just amazing, you know. And then of course the rest of the complex here is just sort of circled by these other elephants here that act as protectors. So you can make your way around the entire base of the complex through these other elephants that sort of circle the whole complex. Different colors, black and pink and blue and purple. It's a pretty amazing sort of construction that they have that allows you to kind of walk the entire grounds. And you know, the elephant motif is really just everywhere that you look, in just about every single square inch of this place. One of the funny things that happens when you pass under these row of elephants, you get a some sort of audio cue on each pass. There's like a sensor that senses you when you walk past the elephant. You can hear. There you go. Elephant, I don't know, trumpets? Is that the right word for what you call an elephant that blows its own nose or trunk? Yeah. This one is red. It's the only red elephant in the complex. So the Erawan Museum began construction in 1994, I believe. Basically, a collector developed the plan and the blueprints and the architectural design, and then passed it off to his son. And the construction started and was finished in 2003. Originally, the collector that conceived of the museum didn't live to see the completion, but his son completed it as well. It basically houses part of his sort of priceless collection in terms of some of the antiquities that are in there, as well as some relics from Buddhism. Erawan means, well, I guess it's a Hindu 33-headed elephant that's used for transportation in Hindu belief. So it's an interesting combination of both Hindu, Buddhist motifs and also sort of religious iconography. So once you complete your visit at Erawan Museum, you can hop on the BTS to get back to more central areas of Bangkok. When I arrived, I walked from the BTS station here, which is about 1 kilometer, through sort of a residential area. But they also sell tickets for just 20 baht back to the BTS station from the museum. Those trips leave, I guess, about every 30 minutes. They're just a little shuttle bus for 20 baht, which is about, I don't know, 50 or 60 cents US. So if you don't feel like making the kilometer walk back to the BTS, you can hop on the shuttle, grab a ticket, and they'll take you right back to the BTS station. Well, after spending some time at the Erawan Museum, high culture, and around all those artifacts and things like that, what a better way to celebrate than a condom-themed restaurant. So I'm here in front of Cabbages and Condoms. So this place is kind of an interesting facet of Thailand. So originally the owner, or the creator of this restaurant, there's a few in Thailand, this is one of them in Bangkok here, he basically said that, you know, you can go into any market in Thailand and get cabbages, and they wanted to have condoms just as readily available because of you know, sexual health and all that kind of thing. So he created this restaurant and the theme to raise awareness to that end. So I'm here for lunch. There's pretty much nobody here. Most people come here for dinner, and but it's kind of nice. There's a sort of an open kind of courtyard in the center of the restaurant. It's beautiful. A lot of the lights that you see above me are shaped like the tips of condoms. So it's definitely a bit of the motif here. So this is one of my favorite dishes from Thailand. This is a khao soi. This is a traditional northern Thai dish. It's sort of like a soup, but traditionally with chicken. You find this in places like, or I think it was actually invented in Chiang Mai, is where it started. But it's basically just sort of like a spicy, noodle soup. And almost always it's got a big chunk of chicken, like a chicken drumstick or that kind of thing in there. But it's just always so good. And whenever I see it on the menus, I usually try to pick it up because it's so tasty. It's good. So this creamy tom kha, man, it's loaded. It has just tons of mushrooms and chicken, and I'm really excited to give this a shot too. Great. If you like a spicy, coconutty, mushroomy, chickeny item, this is the way to go, man. This is just great. So it's like basically, coconut milk with just a bunch of mushrooms and really good chicken, and it's a really nice spice to it as well. That's great. Of course, you have your classic condom tree. What celebration wouldn't be more complete with a Christmas tree aligned with condoms, as well as this gentleman who's decked out in a complete condom outfit. So I think one of the reasons why, I keep returning over and over again to Thailand and Bangkok in particular is just the accessibility of the city, whether it's the food or the people or the culture. This is a city that, and people that tends to sort of meet you halfway. And that's always really refreshing, especially if you come from a place that, for better or worse, is a little bit more reserved. I'm always kind of struck by how easy it is to engage with folks here, to have conversations, to discuss things with people, talk with people, and to have, meaningful connections just on sort of like your day-to-day. And it's one of those things that's refreshing in a way that you aren't always aware of it unless you're sort of dropped down into that culture or that environment. So that's one of the things that I guess I always, kind of keep returning here, because I feel that, wherever I go in this town and in this country. I feel like the people are really open and genuine. I feel like the base level mental health in Thailand is a little bit better than the US, at least at this point. And I think people genuinely want to help you and to do good things and be helpful and engaging. So that's kind of a nice, it's just a nice vibe. You get good vibes here, I guess, from the people. So here in Bangkok, I'm staying at this newer hotel, at least to me. It's called Lift, and it's kind of this new sort of hybrid approach to hotels. So the rooms are sort of traditional in terms of bed and bathroom and that kind of thing, but it has almost sort of like a community, almost sort of like a hostel feel to it, because it has some communal areas, it has washers and dryers, sort of set up for maybe longer stays. Digital nomads, I think, would be really comfortable in a place like this. They have really good Wi-Fi, really good areas where you can sort of just work for several hours and get connected, but it has this sort of really new, sort of modern look to the place, you know, and I'm really liking it just in terms of its layout and its collaborative nature and open floor plan. So one of the other sort of interesting items that they have here is a kind of a shared kitchen space. So you have stoves and ovens, and you also have food preparation areas and sink, of course, and then a refrigerator that's shared. There's rules for the fridge and some simple rules about cleanup, and then sort of a communal place to eat and have breakfast or lunch or dinner. You can take food in or you can prepare it here, which is sort of nice. Of course, you'll see this a lot. No durian here. So, yeah, one of the things they have is a game room here, which you have yourself some foosball, a little outside area to work on. They even have an arcade machine. And then if you need to touch up, they have a steam machine, an ironing board, of course, a set of washers and dryers. The whole place has this real sort of modern layout, you know, and there's some shared workspaces below. These cool little pod chairs that you can find and pull up for yourself. Yeah, all the rooms are rated as, they're described as unique. So I don't think any room is the same. Sorry, it's a little bit messy, but yeah, you have a standard sink, toilet on one side, and shower on the other side, which I want to report, it has fantastic water pressure, which has been really nice. And then it's sort of this kind of a platform bed, as you can see. Sorry again for the messiness. And mine is rated as having city view, which I suppose is accurate. You can see the city, but the probably the bottom backyard is not the most beautiful, but I imagine some of the higher floors probably have a better view. This one's not too bad though. I've stayed in rooms that didn't even have windows, so it's a nice upgrade. So anyway, it's a really interesting kind of modern take on sort of a hybrid hotel slash hostel environment. Maybe it's like if you had a hostel that grew up, the elevators also feel a little bit like you're on the set of 2001: Space Odyssey.
ชั้น G ถึงแล้วค่ะ ground floor.
Yeah, so the lift hotel seems to be great. You know, it's in a great part of town. It's right on the BTS line in Sukhumvit, so you can get pretty much anywhere from here. It's Soi 8, which is a really active area in terms of nightlife. There's lots of stuff going on once the sun goes down. So if you're looking for a place that's in the center of activity, reasonably priced, and something that's a little bit different, a little bit new, something that has a little bit, you know, different concept than your traditional hotel, then this may be a good option to find yourself in. So the Khlong Saep boats are a great thing to do, really low cost. You just sort of take the boat, these sort of commuter boats up and down the canals. I'll leave a link in the description of the video for time and routes and different piers you can get on and off on the boat. So the way these boats work, basically you hop on at different stops along the route and you pay the conductor once you're on. It's a pretty small amount, like 8 to 20, 22 baht, so not very much at all. And they basically are used by most people to commute to different areas of Bangkok. It's not necessarily your scenic or your most sort of like oriented towards tourist boats. Whether you're in a cab or a tuk-tuk or even on the BTS, you don't really get a sight like this on the water. It's not exactly Venice, but it has a similar feel. You know, you're going through these canals that cut through the city, and you go under bridges and have normal sort of like promenades that run along the side of the water. It's really kind of a nice little trip to take. You'll find really busy times between sort of like your standard commuter time, so 7 to 10 a.m. or 4 to 6 p.m. It's a great alternative for people who want to beat some of the Bangkok traffic, which is notoriously terrible. So yeah, you'll see, sort of the back end of a lot of neighborhoods in Bangkok with these trips. So the next off the beaten path is actually stuck in between two well-beaten paths. So you'll find this current location, the Amulet Market, kind of wedged in between the National Museum and the palace. So this place is famous for selling amulets, and within the Thai Buddhist tradition, amulets are really important. Different amulets will bring on different sort of like superpowers, I guess you could describe it as. People get them to protect them against illness or ensure wealth or prosperity, or allow them to conquer obstacles or keep them safe or keep loved ones safe. A lot of times you'll find these amulets, they'll be tucked underneath stupas during the construction. And when those are removed, or let's say they're torn down, oftentimes you'll find amulets that are stuck underneath within the construction that have been there for hundreds of years. So they have a long tradition and history, and a lot of them are seen as having special abilities to basically empower the individual carrying them. One of the interesting things about amulets apparently is that you can't actually buy them, you can't own them. So when you get them at a market like this, tradition says that you basically are renting them for in perpetuity, basically, but not owning them. So the idea of ownership of the amulet is different than what maybe we would find in Western society. Amulets aren't necessarily owned, but carried by the individual. There's some artistic importance with some of these things. I think they're interesting and creative ways to express want and desire in the world. And maybe just having something in your pocket or on the rearview mirror of your tuk-tuk, or in the glove compartment of your car, helps you remember what's important to you, like wealth or family or health. So I don't think it's a bad thing to be reminded of those things, and just having that maybe at the forefront of your mind helps manifest that in your life.